Welcome everybody. We are late, but we're here. It's not really late. Okay, we're not really late.
Yeah.
We have some leeway, I think. Anyway, we have some. At least for me, I had some things I needed to take care of before coming on, and it was called a nap. Okay, so
I ain't
y'all
mad at
can
you.
y'all can hate me all you want,
Uh,
but I've been embracing my old side now, and it's feeling really good. What's
it
that
was
Michael
the
Bublé song? And I'm
There's nothing wrong with naps.
feeling good. That's
it
me
was
now.
it was the eclipse.
That's what
Mm.
did it. Yeah, I thought it was nighttime.
Yep.
Just night night.
Night, night. So
So
to
it
start
was.
the show off today, we want to embrace gender ideology, and we want to do so because we know that it's very difficult for women to be men and men to be women. And in the vein of that, kudos to all the strong women out there.
Good on you.
Good on you. Way to
Yeah.
go. We stand in solidarity with all the strong women out there.
You're all brave and
Wrong.
beautiful.
Brave and beautiful.
So bold.
So bold.
brave.
So brave.
Just so brave.
Strong
Like,
queens.
I want to
Like
be
I-
brave. I want to be just as brave as you are.
Oh,
Show me the way.
yeah.
Like I said backstage, this ruined it for all like ambiguously ugly women because now
Yeah.
people are like not sure if you're just transitioning and if it would be rude to comment.
Hey,
The adjustable twos and threes.
Or-
Like,
or,
Right.
it made it better for them. It made it better for them and got them a chance at least to get in the door.
Maybe.
Hmm?
Maybe.
It could be they could encounter a guy that likes men, but
Mm.
likes a feminine man, and you look like it. Win-win. Hey,
Mm.
so like I said, kudos to you. I hope folks know that we don't participate in that there right there. Now, see, the topic today is more than just the feminist ideology, but it's also about the leftist ideology, the liberal, the
Mm.
protester. All of them seem to share something in common, and that is psychosis. They
Crazy people.
they're all crazy, every last one of them. I know people don't like saying it, but we the savage for a reason. We're called savage for a reason. Okay. The
Indeed.
reason we're called savage is because we have no filter, and we can say the stuff most people don't want to say. So, welcome to the real savagery of the patriots here. It's gonna
Yes.
get down and dirty. So, in honor of what we are talking about when it comes to the liberal and the protester, what's the similarities? And if you saw the thumbnail, you saw Greta Thunberg and Miss Clinton. They could be family. Look. I'm not
They
sure
both
whether or
have
not
fetal
they are.
alcohol syndrome.
Man, they both look like Gollum with filters.
Yes.
Okay,
Indeed.
one of them looks like Gollum with a female filter as a child. One looks like Gollum with a female filter as an adult. Both look like Gollum. That's all I know. And Gollum's still better looking than both. That's incredible to pull off.
Mm.
When Smeagol is better looking than you, you've done something wrong, incredibly wrong with yourself.
Mm.
Mm.
Something's not right upstairs. So, with that being said, we're going to go through some actual footage of how this behaves and also what they believe. We'll kind of break it down because I think people have this ridiculous idea that you need to accept everybody's crazy, and that's not true. Sometimes you need to let people know your brand of crazy does not fly as normal. And I think it's about time we step out of the shadows and start calling a spade a spade. That's not racist, just true. Okay.
That is very true.
Right. So with that being said, we're gonna take our first look, and now mind you, all of these people are not female, but they sure carry a lot of the traits of the quintessential period female.
Mm.
Y'all know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope y'all know what it is. Some of you are not married or have not been married, but when you encounter the period female, it's a whole different beast, literally.
Whole other animal.
Oh, that. Okay.
The period,
Yes.
the period woman. Yeah. So here you go. Listen to this, and this is a prime example of how to handle people who try to gaslight you into believing a narrative that is untrue. Okay, this is the
Fair
guy.
use, YouTube.
Not this guy, not the white guy. You're going to see a different guy handle this white guy because this white guy acts a lot like a liberal, and a protester female.
Right.
Marlon, you repeated yourself.
No.
They're
You
one
see,
and the same.
Not all liberals protest, and not all protesters are liberal.
Mhm.
True.
That's a little
See?
Jedi mind trick right
Oh,
there.
that reminds me. I got to find that Jordan Peterson clip about
Peterson,
this.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, clean your room. Got to do what you got to do. Yes.
He specifically had a clip talking about protesters and how they're narcissists. So I need to find that clip.
That's what they all do. They all try to come into you and make you think what you've got to think. Don't let them do that to you. Clean your room. Get it done. Love
Should be the
yourself.
very first thing you do when you start your day.
Wake
Make
up,
your
clean
bed.
room, make your bed.
Make your bed. I do
Toxic
that
masculinity
every
is
single
wrong.
day. I do that every day. Make my bed. That's the first accomplishment.
So here you go. Listen to this interaction, and this will help you learn how to navigate the courses when it comes to a climate change activist.
It is expected that there will be $150 billion worth of oil and gas extracted off your coast. That means, according to many experts, more than 2 billion tons of carbon emissions will come from your seabed, from those reserves, and be released into the atmosphere. I don't know if you, as a head of state, went to the COP
Let me
in
stop
Dubai.
you right there. Let me stop you right there.
Just wait for it. This is the best thing ever. Best thing ever.
It is.
Yeah, because they just
Do you
found
know
tons of
that
oil.
Guyana has a forest forever that is the size of England and Scotland combined? A forest that stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon.
Uh-oh.
A forest that we have kept alive.
Mhm.
A forest that we have kept alive.
Does that give you the right?
No,
Does
no,
that
no,
give you
that-
the
that-
right to
Does
release
that
all
give
of
you
this
the right?
carbon
Does
from?
that give you the right to lecture us on climate change? I am going to lecture you on climate change because we have kept this forest alive that stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon that you enjoy, that the world enjoy, that you don't pay us for, that you don't value, that you don't see a value in, that the people of Guyana has kept alive. Guess what? We have the lowest deforestation rate in the world. And guess what? Even with our greatest exploration of the oil and gas resource we have now, we will still be net zero. Guyana will still be net zero. With all our exploration,
A couple of
we'll
points.
still be net zero. No, there's no
Powerful words, Mr. President.
Hold,
But a
I am
couple.
not completed as yet. I am not finished as yet. I am just not finished as yet. Because this is the hypocrisy that exists in the world. The world in the last 50 years has lost 65% of all its biodiversity. We have kept our biodiversity. Are you valuing it? Are you ready to pay for it? When is the developed world going to pay for it? Or are you in the pockets? Are you in the pockets of those who have damaged the environment? Are you in the pockets? Are you and your system in the pockets of those who destroyed the environment through the Industrial Revolution and now lecturing us?
Oh, pow, 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 pow.
He just came in swinging, man.
He's like fatality.
But
And-
he's not wrong.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
he is very correct, and we talked about it backstage about us burning down trees, tearing down forests, getting rid of all these trees. What is the one thing that trees help? Like he said, help with CO2 emissions. So they want to tear down all the trees, build all these new buildings, these factories, these Amazon factories, and these Tesla factories, and tear down all these trees for it to create jobs. Then want to lecture us about climate change. And
I know,
CO2 emissions. It makes no sense.
And I find it interesting that it is a westernized Caucasian person lecturing a melanated, I wouldn't say third worlder, but I mean,
Technically, Guyanas are on second world. Okay, they have a lot of industry going on.
yeah.
But on the environmental front, they'll be hard to beat.
I mean,
Very hard to beat. You notice that they don't go and interview people like India. You notice that, right?
oh yeah.
No, they never do.
That's kind of weird.
Or
Hey, now
China.
that interview alone, somebody in power is looking at them and said they need some democracy. we need to go send some democracy to guy.
Well, I mean, probably since they found a bunch of oil in South America that nobody's claiming. But no, it's when I saw this clip originally, I was thinking, it's like this is exactly how the liberal operates. Though they will shame a person they say that they're trying to help for trying to get out of the situation that they're in. So they have an entire giant resource that they are trying to tap into, and they're in the West, and white liberals are going, no, we already did that. You can't do that now. Because that's how they act. They say, well, we're doing it to protect the climate. We're doing it to protect climate change. No, what you're doing is you're kicking the ladder out from underneath you. That's what you're doing. And you want to allow them to research or do any other type of industry, like maybe give them a nuclear power plant in order to offset the amount of energy that they lose or money that they're going to lose, because you won't allow them to go drill on their own land.
Exactly.
Like, that's how amazing that is. It's like, it's their land, and you're saying you can't do it because of the climate change. Just like, okay.
It's all permission based.
Yeah.
All of it. Like, okay, so like Trinidad, right? We used to be a mineral exporter. And I mean of just about bauxite, aluminum, you talk about copper. So it was a whole lot of stuff that we were exporting. Sugar. All of that got shut down the instant we started to participate in the global market on their terms. You can't do that. You have to get it from somewhere else, because if you're doing it like this, then you're going to start impacting the environment. What do you think happened in Trinidad after that? The whole economy went smash and everybody went broke. Now we're importing sugar when we were the national exporter for it. We're importing minerals and we can't even afford our own resources. That's exactly what they hope for, is dependency. They don't really want independence. They want dependency through the lie of independence.
That's right.
Guyana wasn't having it though, and I'm glad that man pieced him up the way he pieced him up. But when they do want you to do the environment, this is what their environment looks like when they do it the right way. Not
It's so
hey,
clean.
little birdie. Hey, little boom. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the environmental impact they don't want to talk about when it comes to these windmills, is how many bats and birds.
Oh, no pun intended. Impact.
Yeah.
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 And they don't talk about it. They don't talk about the petroleum and the oil that it takes to maintain those wind turbines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want to put all this clean stuff. They want EVs, chargers, and all this stuff. Clean. But at the end of the day, it still needs something in common with every other thing that has some type of moving part in it. What's that? Oil or some type of petroleum.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but when those windmill turbines break down, you can't recycle them, right?
No, they go to a landfill just like everything else. Have you seen the windmill like landfill of just nothing but dead windmills everywhere? Yeah.
And it's just a waste.
I mean, I also recall, I think it was Robert Kennedy who said that he fought for a windmill farm, but when they were going to put it by his backyard, he didn't want it because it would obstruct his view of something.
Well, it's always until it affects them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like in Washington State, we have an entire mountainside of these things, right? And they say it's supposed to help with power. You know what actually does most of the work for lowering the cost of energy here in Washington State? It's not wind, it's
Solar.
water.
Water.
We have water, right? It's
hydroelectric is good.
Yes, it is massively more important, and it actually does better. The so-called wind turbines that they have over here, and if you look at it, it's like a field of them, right? Wintertime, there's always problems. Every time they break down, it costs nearly $500,000 to repair just one of those blades.
Jeez.
Not to replace, repair. And if you've ever been up close to them, they're about 2 football fields long.
Man.
They're massive. They are massive. And when you see them transporting across the state, I mean, the whole thing, from gas efficiency to labor to cost to build and cost to destroy, you take nearly half of the state's income just to get rid of one. But you know, that's efficiency for
it's clean. You know, it's clean. We got to take care of the climate.
Right.
Going back to that interview, that Ghana guy, that interview just showed us how entitled the West is. To sit there and shame a president. How dare you when he said that? Remember that? How dare you? What gives you the right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what do you mean? What gives me the right? That's what
the people did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he stood his ground. And if more countries started doing that, America and the West would start to, really think about their influence in these countries. It needs to be scaled back.
The sad reality of this is, like, even if the West does all, like, they magically make all of their climate policies true, right? Even they make all of them true and they do it with fossil fuels and all these things, it causes millions of deaths around the world. And then you would still have China and India producing the most amount of pollution out of anybody in the entire world. Okay. Like you could do everything and make everything net zero across the West, and there would still be more pollution in the world because nobody else is going to listen to what you have to say.
And they have a higher
especially
population.
those two.
They have a
and
much
higher population.
Yeah.
How much does a volcano put out?
Quite a lot.
But not even in comparison to what the people that are pushing the agenda. Nowhere near.
Yeah.
No, nowhere near. What part? Because we're in the same state, and it's good to connect the people who are around. Now, what they really look for is not you doing something, but the illusion of doing something, which is why they like people like this young lady.
Oh,
Yay.
They don't really want you to be an advocate for the environment. You just have to say you are. Because here's the difference. If you're here, hear me out. Just people who are climate activists. If you decide to block the road, hear me out carefully. In protest of climate change, and 90% of the vehicles are gas powered. Hear me out. And they emit things that you say destroy the environment. Don't you think having them idle in front of you is detrimental to not just you, but the environment that you say you're protesting to protect?
Hey, Marlon, operative word there, though.
Oh,
Think?
yeah.
Think.
Yeah, sorry.
You got to tone it down for them a little bit.
My bad. I'm
Yeah.
thinking again that they can think. So this is
They're
her
not
getting
They're not going
arrested.
to comprehend.
Didn't
Yeah.
she pull a stunt like this 5 years ago?
Yep. Same
Okay.
thing.
Same stunt. Now
Yeah.
watch how the police behind her and everybody else, it's just her that gets picked up. And she's smiling.
'Cause she's
And you get put on a bus. That's not arresting. That's not
Yeah.
being arrested.
It's all it's
Getting
all
dragged
right.
away.
I don't care
Now-
what you say. She was not arrested.
Now, she's a fraud because didn't she do a video a couple months ago or last year talking about you can take your climate change and what was it?
Yeah,
was
shove
chanting
it up.
something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You remember that? So is she for it or is she against it? I'm confused.
Let's
I don't
find
think she
it,
cares
shall
about
we?
it. Period. I think she's the type that jumps on the bandwagon of what's the most popular.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a word for that. What's it called again, there, bro?
Clout chasing?
That's
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Grifter.
yes.
A grifter?
Mm-hmm.
Where did we see
Fear
that
you.
video? Did you guys send it to the chat?
I probably sent it the other day. I don't remember. I know I just saw it recently, so I might have sent it. How dare
There's-
she?
There's another thing I wanted to bring up that I thought was funny, and that's you remember the New Jersey earthquake that just happened recently? And everybody was like, ooh. There was one Senate candidate that said, oh, this is because of climate change.
Oh God.
Because that's the new religion, right? Like that's the new shamanism there. It's like anything that happens that goes wrong in the environment, it's climate change.
Yeah, they
You,
said the
you
same-
didn't pray hard enough to the climate change gods.
They said the same thing about it was like a whole bunch of black people dying from something or
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
and remember that and they blamed it on climate change.
They did.
When there was no reactions to certain medication during 2020, they were blaming all those XX deaths on climate change that were heat
Yeah.
related.
Yeah. And it's this is what their terms were. It was disproportionately
Disproportionate.
affecting the black community.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You remember the lasers that they burnt up Maui in?
Mm-hmm.
They blame climate change.
That was climate change. All those mysterious wildfires in Canada.
Yeah, right. It's climate change.
We
We're just
have
gonna
a-
blame it.
Did you realize that blacks have the cure for that kind of laser stuff? And it's hidden in their gang activity?
The Crips. That's
They
why
have the
you're wearing,
So we're
They have
blue.
that's why you're wearing blue.
Yeah, this way I can't get
This sounds
laser.
low.
I can't
Oh.
get
Yeah,
laser.
because you're wearing blue.
Ah,
That's
interesting.
why the Democrats are the blue. You get it now?
Oh,
Yeah. You think it's by accident? No, it's all intentional. All
I
intentional.
mean, you got to figure what type of world we live in where these buffoons get up there and say things or are talking about things that have been going on for centuries in our world.
Mhm.
Centuries, long before the term climate change, global warming, all before that came up. Now they're blaming all these natural disasters, things that sometimes happen naturally, on climate change. So what was causing it before this climate change hysteria? The same thing, these storms, these hurricanes, these tornadoes, all this stuff. What was causing all these things to happen before the term climate change came out? You know what I mean? And then you get these left wing, we call them monkeys on here, with their little freaking symbols clapping. They run with it and they believe it. They believe it. Like, yep,
Everything's climate change.
yep, that
Everything
tornado happened. It's because of climate change.
Bad harvest, climate change.
Yeah. All
Gas,
this is
climate change.
climate change. It's like
Toe jam, climate change.
climate change.
Hair loss,
Burrito bathroom, climate change.
climate change. Yeah.
I asked for my steak medium rare, and it's
Climate change.
rare. Climate change.
Climate change.
It's climate change. It has to be climate change. It's all climate change fault.
Climate change. We're just gonna blame everything for climate change. Just in the chat, just start
That's what
blaming.
they.
things
That's
for
what they
climate
do. Anything that it goes catastrophically wrong, they're like
Yeah.
climate
Look,
change.
I
right?
tried
This
finding
eclipse
my
is climate
shoes,
change.
and the shoes were not where I put them. Climate change.
Yeah, my dog had to get up and pee
That
at 3:00 in the morning.
climate chanch.
Climate.
He never goes
this
to pee
is
at 3
cli-
o'clock in the morning. That's climate change for you.
That's cow farts. Climate change.
Climate change.
This
Gotta get
eclipse,
rid of the
climate
cow.
change.
Oh my
There's too many
God.
cows farting in the atmosphere.
We got to get rid of cows. Cows have been here longer than man.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with the climate change hysteria. They tell us that we had like an ice age, right? That's whether you believe it or not. I have my own theory on it. So
No.
how did all the ice melt if there
Um,
was no human involvement?
Microwaves.
Well, if you
Did-
believe the
did-
theory, theory,
Did woolly mammoths did they fart like
Yeah,
cows?
they did. They did.
Oh, okay.
the going theory is that there was a catastrophic event, more than likely a meteor strike that melted the ice caps. Because of a massive heating very rapidly, and that's what's created a lot of the canyons that exist today.
Yeah.
It's because of the rapid
Okay.
watershed.
Science.
So who fired the meteor?
Aliens.
Dang it! It is people. You're right.
Science.
People.
You can't question science.
It was the
man.
aliens.
You can't question science. No, but that is a real question. They're saying that the whole Earth was a big ball of ice. Then one day it just
Melted.
It wasn't.
It just started. This is what that they're saying now. It's not believable to me, but
And they
people
call
out there that
Christians
believe it.
crazy.
Man, it's
Believe it. Believe it. If you want to believe it, believe it. I'm not refuting your belief. I have my belief. People have theirs.
No.
But I want to know.
nobody has any clue. Nobody has any clue.
Was it, if it all melted, was it different, the climate, for it to all melt that ice back then than it is now? Because if you look at Antarctica and all the ice that we have here, it's not melted. And they keep talking about it's going to melt, but it's not. It's still there. The
It
sea
keeps
levels
growing,
are-
actually.
Yeah, the sea levels were supposed to rise. That
Mhm.
hasn't happened. Then they talk about all the sea levels. Florida is going to be gone.
Mhm, climate
California,
change.
West Coast is going to be gone. But all these rich people are buying properties on these coastlines, investing in coastal properties. But yet we got to worry about the sea levels.
Oh,
Right?
here's another one, Michael. You forgot. They also built a bunch of bunkers, emergency doomsday bunkers, on an island nation in the middle of the Pacific.
It's floatable. Okay. Don't dog them.
Yeah, because the sea levels are going to rise, and New Zealand's just going to magically stay there when it rises, right? So
Yeah.
they're investing.
Listen, Coy, you're not thinking outside the box. You remember when Hank Johnson said that Guam would capsize? Okay.
Like a flippin' sailboat.
Every different continent and island reacts differently to water. Some are buoyant, some will flip. Okay, just understand how it goes, man. Learn the code. Learn the code.
Remember, this last year, it was so hot because of climate change, even though they disregarded the fact a giant underwater volcano erupted, causing all of the waters to warm. But that was climate change because climate somehow affects underwater volcanoes.
Those were ice volcanoes. Big difference.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Ice volcanoes.
But no, remember though, back in the 70s, they had something called a global cooling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hemorrhoids. Climate change.
You know who created that, right?
Hemorrhoids or climate change?
The-
They're global cooling.
What was that? The former ex-president? What's his
Igloo,
name?
the Igloo company, the company Igloo that did all the
The Igloo Company. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
they're
they
the ones that did
created
that.
that.
Yeah, they're the ones that did it. Yeah, they couldn't stand the competition
Because we went from global freezing
or him. Yeah,
to global warming.
Yep.
Then neither one of those really happened. So there was like climate change, just a blanket statement. Climate change. so it can go up
Yeah.
and down. Climate change.
And I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that binary. That's what I'm going to call you from now on.
Yeah.
Binary.
Binary D.
Just because of how your name is, I'm going to go with binary. Now,
That's
it
actually
is interesting that you bring that, because you made the segue for us, which is great. I like when the audience are organic with us.
Mhm.
Mhm. They understand.
Here's the other sea monster or hag or whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
her
Here's
brilliance.
Gollum. Here's the clone of Gollum, except the worst version of the clone. Now
With the
listen
white
carefully,
top.
y'all. She makes a whole lot of sense. I will 100% agree with her. My fingers are crossed. I'm lying. Listen carefully to what she's saying.
But it's Biden
Do I
versus
have to?
Trump. We know that.
It is.
oh,
It is.
What do you say to voters who are upset
Why?
that those are the two choices?
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, I love that.
Right? And
Yeah,
you know,
Clapping seals.
it's kind of like one is old and effective and compassionate,
Yeah.
has a heart, and really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with 91 felonies.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay. Interesting.
I don't understand why this is even a hard choice.
It's the same difficulty in choices as one went to Haiti and raped and pillaged the people there and destroyed children, kidnapped them, drank their blood. That would be you. And you ran for president and you wanted people to vote for you. And your husband had sex in the White House multiple times. He sold drugs in at Mena Airport in Arkansas, and you still wanted people to vote for him too. So what's your point?
Who should we vote for? Listening to
Yeah,
her.
just a question. What's your point?
Here's another one you forgot to mention, or the fact that the ties to Epstein.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
For instance,
Blue
like
dress.
the FBI has every ability to investigate who was on that list and has yet to do any of that.
Thank
But
you.
it's okay. We can charge Donald Trump with any crime we want 91 times. Right?
And
We
we're
can
just
find
it
a
up.
reason. Yeah.
We're just gonna make stuff up.
The question is, has anyone seen what the actual 91? Can anyone name me the 91 things?
No, that's
They're
just the number.
all the 91. They just made up the number. So what it is they charge the same charge over and over again to make up 91. So it's literally like falsifying records like over and over again is what
91
most of it is. 91 times. Like anytime he sent this particular email or said this particular thing, it was 91 times.
Mm.
But see, I'm confused. These people can't even make up the number or get the number straight, because I heard it was 88.
It changes.
Doesn't matter. It
is,
doesn't
okay.
matter.
And then it turned to 91.
You need to learn to be fluid, Jaylee. Okay.
Yeah,
Be
you're
fluid.
not fluid enough.
Yeah, you're not
Fine.
No,
fluid.
I want to be able to make sure I know the rules.
There are
Okay.
no rules. It's arbitrary.
We
It's
make
on
up the
fly.
rules as they go,
On the
man.
fly.
Don't you know that's how they operate?
I
Yeah,
mean, I
they're
get
just-
that. I just
They're just going to continue to keep adding a number to it, so that at the end of the day, he's got 100 charges that's been filed.
I mean,
many
she
do
only
that?
destroyed public
That's what I was gonna
records
get
and
one. Like
hammered
91 charges,
phones. Yeah.
91 charges to 33,000 emails. I'm just trying to. It doesn't make a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
mean,
sense.
there's
to me.
that.
I mean, I personally,
I can blatantly break the law.
I personally don't think Donald Trump has had somebody, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm pretty sure she has.
I mean, people around you oddly seem to hang themselves and shoot themselves in the chest with a shotgun
While in
and
a
commit
tree.
suicide
While in a tree.
while in a tree. Yeah.
Okay, look, I've done some research, and we'll come back to her in a second. I've done some research about some things. Okay, I have really long arms. Okay, I'm a 6'1" kind of guy, right? That's my height. My wingspan is 6'4.5". Okay, so I have some what you would call, and it's not racist, it's monkey arms. They're really long. I can reach my kneecap standing up, and I can touch my kneecaps just standing there. I can actually reach my kneecap. So when I heard about this dude in the tree where he hung himself and shot himself in the chest with a long barrel shotgun, I thought to myself, doable, very doable. All you got to do is time to drop the end point with your hand out or your toe, however, but you can probably make it work. You hold the barrel, have your toe on it, and then you drop down. It took a little bit of work, but I think I saw how it would work out. So it's,
That
you
seems
can
like a
get
very
caught.
elaborate thing to do when you
Well,
could
when
just
you
like
really wanna die,
easily
Coy.
do other things,
But Coy,
anything
when
else.
you really want to die, that's
Yeah.
what you do. You go through the whole gamut of,
Right.
you make
Like,
it.
There you go.
not that I advocate this, but I'm going to tell you one that you could have done. You could have just taken piano wire and jumped off. That would have been
Could've.
much more effective.
But think about it. Think about it this way, okay? He got to buy a piano, strip the piano, get the what? Nah, why would
Yeah.
you do all that?
And that's painful.
Music store. It's right there.
No, but then people ask you a question. What do you need piano for? You know how to tune the piano?
I got to tune a piano. Like it's
Too many
pretty
questions.
stupid.
Mozart? What are you playing? Or you're playing opera music?
Yeah, that alone will kill people.
I don't know, but
just saying.
when we go back to the video, I want people in the chat to tell me what you think Hillary Clinton smells like. I'm thinking she smells like
Sulfur
old
and
cigarettes.
old bananas.
Soiled
Yeah.
meat.
old
So-
cigarettes and spam.
Thanks for ruining my steak. I was
Don't
just putting it
dog
in my mouth.
spam. Spam tastes really good. Okay.
Yeah,
Leave
the
spam
smell.
alone.
Sardines, Dan.
Leave sardines alone.
Dang.
Wet dog and diarrhea is what she smells like.
Mm.
She smells like chitlins before you pull the membranes out.
Now that I can go for. That I can go for. Continue, Miss Clinton. Since you're such
Slimy cabbage.
There you go.
Man, bro, y'all. Oh wow. Okay.
Really, I
Yeah.
don't
You're welcome.
understand it.
Yeah.
But we have to go through the election, and hopefully
cyanide.
people will realize what's at stake, because it's an existential question. What kind of country we're going to have, what kind of democracy we're going to have, and people who blow that off are not paying attention, because it's not like Trump, his enablers, his empowerers, his allies are not telling us what they want to do. I mean, they're pretty
Same
clear.
with your
Deplorables.
side, man.
Us,
Wow.
us deplorables
Get
and
out there
dress
and
terrorists.
vote.
Hold on.
Okay, I also want to point out. I want to point out something really quick. You're also the campaign that created an entirely fake dossier to tie Trump to Russia, interfering with U.S. elections in a way unseen, even that makes Watergate look like a child's play. Just pointing that out.
Yeah.
Okay. So Trump isn't telling people what he wants to do. I'm pretty sure that's all he does is tell
Yeah.
people what he's going to do.
That's what he does.
In fact, that's what you get mad about most, is that what he is going to do, he keeps saying it, and you don't like what he's going to do. So for you to say he doesn't tell anybody, you got to pick one, Hilly. Pick either he is telling everybody what he's going to do, and it's a threat to democracy, or he's not telling everybody what he's going to do, and it's a threat to democracy.
Yep.
I don't know
And
which
we've
one you want.
and we've talked about
I'm just saying, and you expect me to sit here and say that these people are consistently inconsistent. I'm supposed to take them at their word.
Yes.
Consistent.
Yeah, you're supposed to, because they're the elites. But you know, everything Trump
was
says, they
better.
take it out of context, and the
Bloodbath.
liberals like her, the popular liberals, whatever you want to call them, the leftists, the progressives, the communists, whatever you want to call them. You think of everything that he's taken out of he said that they've taken out of context. You know, when he talked about when they asked him,
Bloodbath.
a dictator, they asked him that. He said, "I'm gonna be a dictator for one day." They ran with that. Then you get all the leftists out there talking about Trump said he's going to be a dictator. You only heard that one part, but then you didn't listen to the rest. The bloodbath statement, same thing. He said bloodbath. They cut it off and they ran with it. So this is what they're doing. She'll say that he's telling you exactly what he's going to do, but it's only an edited version that the leftists put out. So yes, you're telling the people what he cut off said he's going to do. You're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
She's not the only crazy one. Okay, now y'all are familiar with, like, Michael Rappaport, who has now changed his tune, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty hilarious that he's now saying voting for Trump is on the table. So there is some hope, but he didn't get to that point because someone persuaded him. Here's what happens. You will take a viewpoint and you'll run with it vigorously. And then one day you trip, right? And you fall down on your point and you realize that the point is actually going to kill you. And you think to yourself, I can't be running with this thing.
Yep.
That's what happened to Michael Rappaport. He finally figured out that what he's been pushing is actually insane. And that's good for him. I'm not saying I fully agree with him on anything now, but waking up to reality is an important thing. However,
just like The Rock.
Just like The Rock, I'm not voting for him.
Yeah.
I made that mistake once. And even though Rock is still a pedophile, I get that. But at least on one point, he's waking up. Hey, step by step, small step. There's another crazy lady that I've seen in movies before, and I thought she was funny until now. And thank you to AJ
I know what you're talking about.
for bringing this to my attention and our attention.
It's not Whoopi, right?
No. Although she's close now, she's really close to becoming Whoopi 2.0.
Okay.
When you see her, you'll okay. So here again is another individual who is telling you exactly what Trump is going to do when he becomes president. or in her world, king. Here we go. Listen up.
As soon as he takes the oath, he will have generals walk down the steps of the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
He will take
Same
a
generals who
hammer
lie to him. Yeah.
and break the glass where the Constitution is,
Mm.
and he will tear it up in our faces
Ooh.
and say, now, I'm the king of the fucking world.
Yes. Yep. That's what
Yes.
it's gonna be.
Yes.
You will bow down, bitches.
Oh,
Bow
yeah.
down. Hmm.
Like Xerxes.
He will punish everybody that didn't vote for him. Let me tell y'all how I know this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I know it because I know what mental illness looks like.
She looks in the
Bet
mirror.
You do.
Oh,
Every day.
Crazy can look at crazy and know they're crazy.
crazy knows crazy, right?
Yeah, but in that vein, though, Trump is a little off his rocker to the point where Kim Jong-un was afraid to hit the button.
Look, and that's the kind of crazy we need. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
I won't.
That's the kind of crazy. If you don't know what I'm going to do to you next, you're not going to cross me.
But this kind of
It's
crazy right here,
unpredictability, not crazy. It's unpredictability.
Fair.
Okay.
fair.
Listen,
But this kind of crazy right here, that's just
That's
another
different.
level of,
That's
of
cruise
mental
loose.
insanity.
I
Yeah.
equate Trump to Tyson. Hear me out. Hear me why I
He's gonna
equate him
bite
to
your ear.
Tyson. Yeah, here's why I equate him. See, in one moment, Tyson will be laughing and giving you dropping words of wisdom, and then the next minute he just does this, and he's like, "But I'll kill you.
Yeah.
I'll eat your
Take another
children,"
ring.
just like that. And all of a sudden, you're like, I don't know if I can fully laugh with him because I don't know at any moment he could just snap and punch me, and I would be dead.
Yeah.
That's the way it is with Trump overseas. They're like, we're not going to push this guy too far because one,
Mhm.
if he is that crazy, he's also shown that he can go through whatever threats he's made.
Yep. And not
Yep.
afraid.
So, you know, in some ways, I like that. It keeps him honest.
Yep.
That's also the thing. Sorry, go ahead, Michael.
Oh, go ahead, man.
So the thing is that people don't understand is that our adversaries love it when Democrats are in office.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they're predictable. They like predictable politicians. They like it when Mitt Romney's in. They like it when Obama's in. They like it when Biden's in because they know what's going to happen. Hence why they were able to perpetrate all these wars that we're seeing now is because they're predictable. They know what they're going to do. That's why they would never do it while Donald Trump was in office because they don't know what this crazy dude would do.
Yeah. And
Unpredictability. No idea.
When it comes to these actors and actresses that go from acting because now they can't act anymore because nobody wants them, and then they kind of venture, most of them venture off into politics and they talk like this. How do you know they're not acting? You know, that could be a scripted thing that she practiced and she got up there and said, I'm just going to try to say the most savage stuff, outrageous thing ever. Everything she said, you shouldn't even take seriously at all. We're sitting here listening to her like, oh yeah, he's gonna do that. Yeah, he's gonna break the glass. Yeah, he's gonna rip at the Constitution. Okay, yeah, he's gonna say king. Oh, okay, yeah. No one with a normal brain would believe that.
Like when I first heard this, I was like, "Oh, this is a fantastic fantasy script that she's laying on during this podcast." Like it's a great.
This would make a great scene.
Yeah,
no, it's a great scene for a movie. I don't know why you're not pitching this to some director right now. Like that's what I thought. It's
Because-
like, dude,
because no
your
one-
imagination is wild.
Yeah, I was just
Like for that to actually be something you legitimately think is reality would actually happen.
I know. It would be the remake of what's that Nicolas Cage movie?
Face Off.
National Treasure.
Oh,
But with her as Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And instead of saving the Declaration of Independence from foreign entities, it's saving it from Donald Trump.
no.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and not only that, you get a color protagonist, you get a female protagonist. Think about how much
Gender
money
and
this
race
is going to
swaps.
lose. I
There
mean,
you
make
Yeah, that would be.
it's amazing.
It's just so crazy how much they project over everything that they do because like they've been tearing up the Constitution left and right. Like they remember when they said they were just going after the Second Amendment, we're just doing that, but then the first came up and people are like, wait, what? Because like that's what they all do. And then like anything else they ever do is they always to dismantle the rights of the individual in the United States, like of the citizen of the United States. They are dismantling your rights left and right and saying it's for your protection and your own good.
And here's the thing with these people like her. Everything is sensationalism, right? You watch the mainstream media, the left-wing mainstream, they sensationalize everything. They make it like it's happening. It's going to happen. I know because I'm rich and famous. Listen to me. The mainstream media does it. These actors do it. These entertainers, they all do it. They just blow something up, call them Hitler, and then all their little monkeys hear that one word, Hitler, and they all regurgitate that Donald Trump is Hitler when it's not true. Or
yeah, because what I made this joke the other day is like, what did he actually do though? I mean, did he kill a bunch of people? Did he like murder a bunch of Jews? Is that what he did? No. Oh, what's the worst thing he did? He said made tweets on the internet.
Yeah,
like he didn't cause a famine and kill millions of people through like policies where you killed a bunch of birds because you thought they were stupid.
No,
Mao Zedong. I just want to point that out.
right.
No, this guy is the worst person in the entire history of the world because he said mean things on the internet.
Hey, that's dangerous stuff. Be careful.
Right.
You're going to get written up right now for that.
Well, he deported a bunch of people.
Let's hear what the rest of Miss Red Glasses has to say, because she looked like she said she knows what crazy looks like. And if I look at that face, I 100% agree with her.
Unhinged.
Is she single? Most likely.
Hopefully, because she says she might be destroying a male as we talk. I don't know. So let's find out.
I'm curious.
That mania is unstoppable.
See,
Motion.
this motherfucker's Hitler.
Yes.
He didn't come to play.
This is the stupidity.
Is Hitler?
Is it like I said? He's Hitler. He's the worst human being on the place of the planet. And what has he actually done that has been wrong?
Hold on. Was Hitler the worst?
No, not by
That's what
far.
I
I would.
So why are they always saying Hitler when Hitler wasn't even remotely near the worst?
Stalin.
I'm pretty sure Stalin was worse than Hitler, wasn't he?
No, the killing
Stalin.
fields, Cambodia.
Oh,
No. I'm saying
No.
compared to Hitler, Stalin was worse.
Yeah, Stalin was worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying overall Stalin was worse, but why pick Hitler when you have Stalin, Mao Zedong? You got Genghis Khan for
Pol Pot.
crying out loud.
Yeah.
Hitler? Okay, well, I guess I should be thankful that you're not calling him the worst in history. I mean,
I would say Pol
especially when he
Pot's the
sides with
worst.
Israel, who
Pol
is
Pot is
Jewish.
pretty bad.
Doesn't Trump side with Israel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did Hitler?
No,
Oh.
he
That's
hated
different.
being a Jew.
That's different.
Yeah.
I thought, wasn't Hitler a Jew?
He was a
Yeah,
half
right?
Jew.
Okay. You see, these are the things I question as to why they call him. I think because he's such a prolific figure and he had a very specific look, and people are dumb and they don't do history and they have no concept of who was actually the worst in history that they think Hitler was. And this is a problem with the left. They're retarded people. I can honestly tell you that even my brother, who is special needs, would look at them and call them retarded and laugh at them for being as retarded as they are, because even he would know more intelligent stuff than they would do. The thing is, if you can go back to history and only go so far as 44, 43, 42, 41, and that's as far as you're going, something might not be clicking up here, because if you go back even by across the way, just stay within the 40s, but go across the way to a different person, I'm guaranteeing you that Hitler was not the worst.
No, he wasn't.
Like at least equate him to like, Charles Manson.
Something.
He's
Not
a
even that.
cult leader who's going to convince people to kill other people. Like that would
Jim
make more
Jones.
sense to me.
Jim Jones for
Yeah,
crying out
Jim
loud.
Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, Biden's
John Wayne
closer to
Gacy.
but if you think about it, how come Trump is this bad Hitler and he just did all this bad stuff? How come he didn't do all that in his first 4 years?
Thank you.
He could have did all of this. I remember when Trump was running, and I'm the only right-leaning person in my family, and of course, majority of my family looks like me. And I remember talking to my former brother-in-law, and he told me back in 2016, Donald Trump is going to put us back on slave ships. And he said, you're going to. And I was like, Donald Trump's not going to do that. Where are you guys getting that from? So you was hearing this type of rhetoric back then. We're all going to slave ships. All the Mexicans are getting deported. All of them, even the ones that are citizens.
Here legally.
All the black people that are citizens that were born here are going back on slave ships. I ain't been on a slave ship. They were throwing out all these sensational comments. So if he was going to do all of that, why didn't he do it if he was such the bad dictators? Because dictators can do whatever they want. Why didn't he do it?
Well, because he wanted to get reelected, right?
Yeah.
No, if he's a dictator,
would-
you got to think about
yeah.
it. If he's a dictator and he got rid of us all as a dictator, why would they need an election?
He was
Yeah.
biding his time.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know what I mean? What is he going to do?
Why not do it when you first got in? Yeah.
It's the same logic they used by saying, well, Putin didn't invade Ukraine because Donald Trump was on his side. Even when you tell him, well, if he was on his side, then the best time to invade Ukraine would be the time when you couldn't have America influencing the war. You do it when your buddy's in office, so you can just do what you want and run roughshod over Ukraine. Why wait till the wet potatoes in there, who you don't agree with? You know why? Because you know he's actually not going to do anything.
Yeah.
He's predictable.
He's predictable. See what Biden and the Democrats have done so far with the Ukraine war. All they've done is use the opportunity that, I should say it like this. Russia used an opportunity to take back what was theirs. America and Ukraine saw an opportunity to lie to the population of the world by telling them that this was an invasion of the actual Ukrainian people. So they can get the UN and America to send the money over there in order to funnel it back to the people that pushed the idea of the war. So what you're getting really is an advanced form of money laundering. But it's not, it's par for the course. They did it with Afghanistan. They did it with Iraq. They did it all the time. It's not nothing new where you take the money. Every time you have a maritime or a war fund, they take that money, tell you they're going to tax you, send the money somewhere. It never gets used for what they say it is. If you watch everything in Ukraine from pictures, you don't see any destruction for them saying that this massive war is going on. 1 or 2 buildings. And then you check the next day and the same buildings are now erect and fine. All of a sudden you have almost $200 billion going over there. And everybody's coffers seem to be going up. You have senators whose income was at 90 million. And then all of a sudden by the end of the next year, they're at 150 million. You're wondering, how? Well, if you did some math, and I challenge you guys to do this, look at the people who voted for the war in Ukraine to send money. Look at the amount, do some division by the amount of people and the amount of money sent over, and see if their income doesn't rise in direct proportion, give or take a couple 20 million, because Zelensky has to get his cut, and see if the money doesn't work out to be like, wow, it's almost like it's being recycled.
Yeah. There was reporting on that even from leftist outlets saying that, hey, there's a lot of corruption going on. They're just taking the money and pocketing it.
They are.
It's not going to the war effort. And here's the other thing. They always make the argument, right? Like what's going on in Palestine with Gaza, and that is that, oh, they're like the Israelis are colonizers and they're invading Gaza, and it's like, oh, well, that's kind of what Russia claims, is that the Ukrainians are colonizers and they're just trying to take back their ancestral land as well. So like, does that work out either way for you? Like your argument of like, well, they're just trying to take back their ancestral land, right? That's how it goes. Like somebody colonized this, we're just trying to take it back. That's how it
The
works.
difference is you have to agree with the person that they're siding with.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
And that's the left. You know, the left, most people on the left, the majority of the people on the left aren't going to label someone a villain unless their overlords tell them they're a villain. The difference between the left and right, like the right, we can take a step back and be like, wait, you know what? I don't want to get involved in this stuff. Whatever this side did wrong, this side did wrong. We're not picking sides. It sucks that the innocent people are dying. What the left does is they can say tomorrow, the news can come out tomorrow and say Germany invaded France. Germany, or for some odd reason, they can just make it up, and then German will be their next hoo-ha that they're out there fighting for. Colonizers said Germans haven't changed and all this other stuff. So it's just wherever the wind blows, this is where most of these leftists jump on. Palestine, oh, new thing. Let me put on my new uniform. Oh, let's go over here. Ukraine. Let me pull up my Ukrainian flag. It's just, that's all they do. They have nothing better to do.
Period. Point blank. And that's always the way it came. Now, the one person I did not expect, but I kind of glad he's waking up a little bit. He's not fully awake yet, because most of the information he's storing is in his forehead. One person I never thought that would come around, because he's always been very loud, boisterous, big mouth, but he never has anything much to say, even when he talks about sports, because he's speaking from a position of never having really played professionally, but talks a lot like he has. There's a big problem with that. Now, if you're going to tell me that I don't have a whole lot of experience, but I'm speaking based on what I've researched, I will listen to you. But if you try to pass it off as though you've done something so you know what to talk about, that's a big difference. Okay, so now Mr. Stephen A.
I was gonna say, let me name him. I knew it
Yeah.
was him.
has chimed in on the.
But he's had some pretty
thing.
base takes lately, though.
lately,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I said. And if you watch, I mean, this is a joke, but if you look, you could probably see his hairline coming back.
Mm.
Huh?
Yeah,
It's
it-
not
it
as
doesn't
far back as
judge.
it used to be. The George Jefferson no
Man.
longer exists on him anymore. Okay,
Or did he get one
So
of those
unfair.
LeBrons? Did he get one of those LeBrons?
he might have gotten a LeBron. I don't know.
Yeah, he got a LeBron.
I don't know.
Mm,
The inching fade and coming forward, the refade.
right.
So let's hear what he has to say.
Stephen, great to have you on set. So what do you make of that? Get over it?
I don't think it was a very wise statement on her part. How did that work out for her in 2016? I think that's something that we have to recognize. Yes, she won the popular vote, but at the end of the day, she wasn't the president of the United States. It was him. You can look at her not campaigning in Wisconsin in the last days, not campaigning in Pennsylvania in the last days. You can look at some of the stuff that they were saying about her that sort of distracted things from where it should have been in terms of Comey and his report from the FBI. You can bring up a whole bunch of things, but at the end of the day, the last thing you need to do is to do anything that could agitate a potential voter in this particular election.
What do you make about the actual argument that she's making? I mean, she's basically saying two old people, yes, but they're substantively different. I mean, Trump
Absolutely.
has
Well,
91 counts against him.
Well,
and
listen,
if you're
nobody's
not-
brought that up more than me. For 4 indictments, 91 counts, impeached twice. I'm not voting for him. I've said that to a lot of people. I've said that to you. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that at some point in time, you got to take into account what the voters thinking about. The voters, a lot of them out there, tens of millions of them out there, by the way, don't care what he's going through right now. They don't care about his guilt or innocence, his perceived guilt or innocence. They don't care about the 91 counts. They're thinking about their lives. And a lot of times we see politicians taking the positions that they're taking, and while we can respect their candor and their honesty, they do seem a bit detached at times from what the voters are actually feeling and what the voters are actually thinking. Nobody wants to hear that from Hillary Rodham Clinton at this particular moment in time, because especially if you're Joe Biden, what are you really, really worried about right now? You're worried about folks coming to the polls. You're worried about them showing up to the polls to vote for you. You're not worried even about them voting for Trump. You're worried about them not showing up to vote for you. That doesn't exactly encourage them to get up out of their seats and go to the polls.
There you go.
I mean,
He's not
100%
wrong.
correct on all of that. Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah.
I did a little thing while he was talking, and it was worse than I thought. I mean, I'm just saying.
Mhm.
You know, Chuck Schumer has been a very big proponent of making sure Ukraine gets their money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I wonder
massive
why.
proponent, right? Massive. This is in 2022, right? His net worth, right? January of 22. I want to make sure people understand that. January of 2022. Okay? We have that date right in our head?
a little over 2 years ago.
His net worth, 900,000. Okay? All right,
Okay.
we have that in your head, right? You got that?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay, good. October of 2022. See? Updated October 5th, 2022, right?
Mhm.
You want to know his net worth is in October of 2022? Now, if anyone can tell me what happened in 2022, how much money we gave to Ukraine. Anybody have a ballpark figure?
174 million.
170 billion dollars, right? Okay.
Billion.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Look at his net worth now. Now, somebody tell me what kind of a jump that is.
What is it?
You
I can't
see
70
it?
million. Wow.
Now, remember, 900,000 January 2022,
Mhm.
October
Investing in
2022,
salary.
70 million is his net worth.
And he made it all from investing
Investing, all invest. Yeah, in
as a
Ukraine.
person in the Senate. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, Coy. So, how long has Chuck Schumer been a congressman, or whatever the hell you want to call him? How long
He's
has he-
almost as long as Biden.
His
okay,
yeah,
almost as long as
political career is
Biden.
long.
So he had 900K,
hmm
and let's go with Coy's. Not anything against what Coy said. He had 900K. He invested it, made 70 million.
Mhm.
So if he's been in office, think about it, for all
return,
these
Jesus.
years, what happened to his investments before all that time to not be I'm just saying, to not be a millionaire. So you're right, Marlon. Ukraine war started. He was 900K, and then he got some kickbacks from the Ukrainian government, money laundering,
Yeah,
moving money
69
around.
million, 69
Well,
million worth.
Here's the thing. His salary was 191K
Yes.
Mhm.
and his net worth is 900K.
Mhm.
And in the course of 9-10 months, it jumped
10.
up to $70 million.
Yes.
He has a great savings plan.
No,
wrote a
seriously,
book.
what's the return on that investment
It's a
for
book.
an investment? Like, cause I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I want to get on what he's getting on because
Yeah.
like go from 900,000 to 70 million in just investing is insane to me. How
That's what's
I
up.
want to know how you
That's day
manage
trading.
that.
Day trading.
Or insider trading.
Inside.
Bitcoin. He's a Bitcoin millionaire. Let's
He's
just
a
say
big-
that
yeah.
he made it all in Bitcoin.
There you
Have
go.
you seen? You know who Viva La Dirt is? Have you ever watched Viva La Dirt? It's a
Yeah.
YouTube channel, right? They have like,
Yeah, I've watched their stuff. Yeah.
funny stuff, right? One of them, Rowan comes and he's Adam brings a little hard drive and he says, I totally forgot that someone gave me a whole bunch of Bitcoin and it's on this hard drive. And Rowan comes forward and said, man, I know how to collect Bitcoin. I know how to get it off that hard drive. He's like, really? Like, yeah. He says, well, give me the hard drive. I'll go extract it for you right now. Along comes his other buddy. He's like, hey, man, I just had a hard drive that I found that was Bitcoin. He said, oh, yeah, really? He's like, yeah, you know, that's almost $5 million right there. He's like, I know. And he said, and Rowan's going to extract it for me. He's like, Rowan's going to extract it for you? He said, yeah, Rowan knows how to take. He said, did you give him the hard drive? He's like, yeah. Like, please tell me he's not. And all of a sudden in the back, you hear smash, smash, smash. And out comes Rowan with the hard drive, all destroyed. It's like, well, yeah, man, they lied to you. There's no Bitcoin on it. You see, this is how they want you to believe that the economy works. Meanwhile, they don't actually know how any of it works, but they're the leader. They're the ones in charge. They're making more money than you. And they have to find a way to destroy what you're making and how to get you rich. See, so this is, while it might be humorous, it's still stinking true. From 900,000 to 70 million in less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
During the same time, you've sent all kinds of money to the so-called oppressed country. And you watch how they're behaving with the money because they have all kinds of nice new fancy streets while the infrastructure in America is suffering. If you watch it, they're taking a hard drive with your Bitcoin on it and telling you they know how to get the best out of it and then destroy it and hand it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing. But don't forget, they still keep their job. You're still poor and they're still making more money than you.
And you can't even get a house loan with $100,000.
Can't even.
And you know, it's messed up with these elites, draconians, whatever you want to call them. The same people breaking the rules are the same ones making the rules for us to follow. So they'll break a rule all day. They'll break it. They'll inside trade. They'll launder money. They'll do all this crooked stuff. But then they create the rules and the laws for us not to do the same thing. And if we even do that, they'll put us away for a long time while they're doing the same thing. That's why the whole system needs to just be revamped and
it goes back
out.
to the Guyana president, right? Kicking out the ladder from underneath them. They'll make it and extract as much resources and value they can, and then they'll kick the ladder out from underneath them to make sure nobody can follow up behind them.
That's right.
Because they want to keep the power. They want to keep their control. That's what it is.
Now, to end our wonderful segment, because this is a really good. If y'all want to have some points to put out there to debunk a whole lot of leftists, this would be the podcast to use. Go back, chop it up, record, screen record, whatever you got to do, get it out there. Especially the money portion. That one will really trip people out. And watch them scramble to explain it. That's going to be funny. Make sure you record their responses too, because that's where the funny part comes in. But in order to make sure everyone ends this on a hilarious note, but also a hypocrisy-based note, here is the one, the only. So enjoy that imagery. He's talking to you. I did not have sex with that woman. I did, however,
while wearing
have
the
sex
dress
with multiple minors on Epstein Island.
Yes, and did it.
And in his plane.
I got diddlered by Diddley also.
By Diddley. There was a good old Billy in his blue dress. The devil's got a blue dress on too, didn't he? Didn't the devil have a blue dress? Devil in a blue dress? Okay, I'm just saying. A lot of the things they tell you, but they don't tell you, but they do tell you.
Yep.
Okay? Don't let them try and fake you out, man.
See, that's the thing that
it's universal law. Just remember that they have to tell us what they're doing. It's right there in front of our face. A lot of us take it as jokes and haha and kikiing all the time when they do it. They're actually telling us something. Just got to pay attention to what they're showing you and don't laugh at it because there's a message behind everything that they're doing that we think is a joke.
Period.
Yeah,
Period.
Here's the thing. people kind of misconstrue. One of the things that popular media has done is given this notion that a demonic person or a demon looks a certain way, right? They're ugly, they're grotesque, or whatever, right? That's not how they would look, because if you want to entice a human, you have to make things pretty.
Sirens.
Right? And so like a demon isn't ugly, it's pretty. It's a sweet nothing that they whisper in your ear. It's something they convince you is right when you know it's wrong.
But if you're aware, you will see right past the facade and see the ugly, which is why we can see Hillary Clinton for what she is. We can see all those people. Now, everyone will look at, she's a strong, brave, independent woman, such a beautiful. You heard them calling Hillary all these things. When you look at her face, you're thinking, you're talking about Soros's twin sister? That's pretty? Something wrong with you. But then
Alexander Crowley.
I could see why you think she's good looking, because you're blinded.
But remember, we're also talking about an age where everything is deconstructed, and to the point where even everything that's considered beautiful is subjective. When there is in fact a standard of aesthetics, and when somebody says,
"I love aesthetics,"
Mistress Beefcake herself, Hillary Clinton, is considered beautiful, it's like, yeah, you want something.
Poison goes down better with honey.
That's very true.
Yeah, you don't.
So if it's sweet, it probably is bad.
You never get to finish the honey. You die before the honey actually get to enjoy it. It's crazy stuff. But we do want you to do as much as you can to get this out there. We did hear some information. We're still trying to verify whether or not it's legit or not. Either way, it's hilarious. But there was some audio floating around of Michelle Obama saying that she was going to be running for president as a man. AI definitely possible. Not saying no. They can do that all the time. However, I wouldn't, like we keep saying, I wouldn't be surprised if she came out saying that she was, and people just saying stunning, brave move. We always knew it, but it's about time that the citizens of America have embraced you for who you are and not dog you. Yep. Don't be surprised if that comes out. Okay.
Could you imagine that as like another thing on the like prehistorian like ladder gets called and finds out to be true? Like
it'll be interesting.
And then they'll be like, we never said that he wasn't a man or whatever.
We just didn't like you guys dogging her for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let her be who she wants to be.
Let her be who she wants.
Let her be. They'll still say she and whatever, but even if it's true.
Like Marlon said, I wouldn't put it past them, even if it's AI, because we listen to it. It could be. But like I said, a lot of times these people do things and they're actually telling you what they're going to do, but they make it seem like it's fake. They do things that make you seem like it's fake. Then when it happens, bam, out of nowhere, you'll be like, oh man. So just understand that anything they throw out and they try to claim it as being satire or a joke sometimes, some of it is, but always take a little bit of that as the truth. My Trump deranged and bent forward 90-degree angle at her hips and charged me like a bull. I'm picturing that.
Yeah,
Corey, you should do some AI with that.
Yeah,
it's the Karen charge.
Yeah, called the Karen charge. Do an AI thing with it. You got the
Karen charge. So either way, we're not sure what the topic will be Wednesday yet. But however, whatever it is, we're going to come with receipts on it. But if that Michelle thing proves to be true, you can bet money that's going to be the topic Wednesday.
We'll have fun with that one.
Oh, come on. I'm going to make sure I find that picture with her and on Ellen, and I will accentuate that portion of her body just to make the thumbnail. Watch. I'm telling you.
That's also the reason why most people are saying that she's not going to run is because she doesn't want to go through the humiliation of everybody saying
won't.
She's
but
a
the
man.
thing is, it won't be humiliation.
Yeah.
The engine is behind her, right? The engine, as we speak about it right now, would be behind her. The amount of positive spin they would put on that, it'd be impossible to get any of your negative viewpoints across to anybody. Trust and believe me, they will never allow that to be a negative thing. They will come forward and then they'll start branding us as the bigots and you don't like this. And we'll tell them, I don't.
We had to hide it because this is the only way that we could protect our family.
We'll be the haters and we'll be the ones that really don't like the other people because look at us. We just want them dead. Watch them. Look, they have the agenda planned out. If they want the agenda, they'll play it. They'll play it out.
They've been working it for the last however many years this has been going on. And you're seeing it in society to where you can't even speak of them without somebody attacking you. So it's a buildup. And like Marlon said, if she comes out, and he comes out and says that he is a he. I'm trying to watch my words. That he is a he. No one's going to say anything. I'm telling you, it's going to be people like us that talk crap. You know, we're going to talk crap, but the mainstream's not going to say anything. Why? Because the mainstream doesn't want it to get looked at like being transphobic. So they know what they're doing. They're just building it up. And if she did,
there'll be a Netflix documentary and a show.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Didn't we say it on the Seven Sacred?
I'm pretty sure we said
that,
something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about it. We are the
Call us Nostradamus, man. That's what
she did get a bunch of that
Negros.
Democrat money to run, and she still got it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Nostradamus, Nostranegros, now I can whatever. But
Yeah, man.
we predictors, I'll tell you that much.
Sure are.
We'll see if it turns out to be true. But until then, just stay tuned to the channel. We'll update you as to whether or not or what our topic will be on Wednesday. But we will be having a show Wednesday for sure. The Hooch will be on tomorrow, 6 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
And 6 Central.
6 Central?
Yeah,
6
Central.
Central. Okay.
Central.
So 7 Eastern.
7 Eastern. Yeah.
And we were going to go live with Too Strong tonight. However, we're still trying to investigate a couple of things, and we don't want to get live without the information that we're looking for. So bear with us. We will be live eventually here soon, but we want to make sure, because, we don't like coming forward without relative good and substantial information. You know how Too Strong roll, the same way as a Savage roll. We don't roll without information. We want to come correct, so you can't come back and say, y'all didn't know. Y'all look like a fool if you tried that with Savage Pictures. We always know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So just understand that's why. So, but tomorrow, I'm going to advertise here. Tomorrow on Straight Talk, I will be having a discussion with an atheist.
Ooh.
And not just any atheist, an atheist who is about debunking the existence of God. So y'all might want to tune into that. I'm not debating him, okay? I'm having a discussion. I just want to hear how he made his journey from wanting to be a Christian to not caring and becoming an atheist. I just want to hear. I promise I'll be good.
You're lying.
I don't think so. That's not going to happen.
Hey, look, I'm promising I'll be good. It depends on what the definition of good is.
You know, when Marlon's about to go in, he does this.
But it is
it the
Well, yeah,
good,
what's
like
your
a good
good-
trouble
you know,
good,
this
or
good
is it like
He starts looking at him.
Look, if he gets to that point where I have to look at him that way, I apologize now for having, but it wouldn't be my fault.
he made me do it?
He made
He made me.
There's probably an 80-20 chance that Marlon will go off in some way, shape, or form.
He would have made me do. It wasn't intentional. He presented me something, and I have to react.
Okay,
All right.
That's fair.
Okay,
It's a response.
don't dog me.
It's a fair enough.
All right, I'm putting up my disclaimer now. Okay, just so you know. So in any case, tune in Wednesday and tune in tomorrow morning for that particular non-confrontational event. I'm putting it out there. I'm speaking it into existence.
Hey, are we going to do a Rumble this weekend? Since
We will be doing a Rumble this
Yeah,
weekend.
Rumble.
Okay.
I will make sure I sleep in the week so I don't have to sleep Saturday. But I think I'm all caught up now in my needing rest. So we will be doing it Saturday.
All right.
Mr. Lee?
So like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all Wednesday.
Peace.
Peace out.
Or.